After reading today's piece, you'll be holding your breath. A love story, a heartbreaking choice, and an incident that shocked fans worldwide. Be sure to watch all the way through because every second is a piece of this beautiful and moving journey. It all started when Son Ye-Jin, our Korean drama queen, had to make the hardest decision of her life. Given her reputation for grace and strength, few expected to see her publicly lose it, but that's exactly what happened. Standing in front of reporters during what should have been a happy press event, she said, "This is the hardest decision I've ever had to make," in a voice that was hardly audible above a whisper, "and I still don't know if it's the right one." The fact that this was about more than her career was immediately clear. This was something far deeper, something that impacted her family, her heart, and her identity as a mother and actor. The hints had been there for weeks. Fans noticed longer social media silences, delayed appearances, and even her husband Hyun been going alone to a movie premiere. Rumors began to spread. Some called it emotional exhaustion, a hidden disease, frightened others. But the truth was far more subtle and painfully lovely. Son Ye-Jin had received an offer for a big part in a worldwide film that was written especially for her. She was able to advance as an artist, but she also had to spend a lot of time away from her family. She struggled, she cried. She was also concerned about the impact her decision would have on her spouse and young son. When she finally gave Hyun Bin the script, she was shaking. At that moment, Hyun Bin stood by her side in spite of his own dread. He understood. He responded, "Do what your heart needs," and nodded modestly. Then the agonizing parting arrived. As she was leaving the airport to board her flight to Prague, her son's little voice called and asked when she would be coming home. That call had broken her. She fell on her knees, unable to hide her sobs. The scene, captured on camera by onlookers and quickly circulated online, touched millions of people, but despite the tears, Son Ye-Jin found the strength to go on. For a moment, she vanished. Advocates were terrified. But then a message that said, "I am not one or the other," appeared out of nowhere. "I am a mother. I'm an actress. I am allowed to be both." Shortly after, a photo of her on Jeju Island carrying her son barefoot with Hyun Bin's hand gently resting on her back appeared. Instead of a magnificent press release, it painted a powerful image of a family who chose love and unity. By the time filming resumed, a lot had changed. The production reflected her life. There were toys near cameras, a nursery, and storybooks beside screenplays on the set. Her personal life was skillfully incorporated into her play, and her emotional performances had an influence on everyone on set. The filmmaker went on to say, "She didn't just act it, she had been there herself. The whole time Hyun Bin was with her. He pushed the stroller, protected her from the cameras, and gave her the silent support she needed." In a love letter, he wrote that she wasn't running away from her family, but that they met her where she was coming to terms with herself. When the film first came out, it received excellent reviews. Critics said that it was more than just acting, it was testimony. But as Son Ye-Jin explained, "I didn't return for awards. I came back to show my son that I was brave." During the most recent press conference, she was observed holding her son's hand. "The real drama wasn't scandal," she said, beaming at the picture. "It was love." Then, sounder than ever but unbroken, she walked away in quiet. Son Ye-Jin reimagined stardom as more than just a technique of regaining attention. She proved that it is possible to be an artist, a mother, and an unrepentant, independent woman. It turns out that Hyun Bin was the calm in her storm and supported her through everything, despite the fact that many people questioned whether he was the reason of her problems. In case you went through this emotional journey as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, remember that there are always more beautiful stories to discover, so be sure to finish reading.